Hello friends, good evening. So now we'll be just starting this session relating to polity answer writing. So yesterday we had the first session and today we'll be having the second session relating to mains answer writing. In the previous class, I have given a very detailed lecture relating to how not to write the answer. So in a very detailed perspective, I have explained you how not to give the answers in the exam. Because sometimes what happens when we are giving an answer, if it is not suiting the demand, ultimately it will bring us a score which is not acceptable. Therefore, yesterday's class, do watch it. You will be having an input relating to those areas. Today, in the present session, I am going to cover again a very detailed analysis relating to various questions asked in the mains examination. So, how to tackle a given question, what are the do's and don'ts, that we will cover in our today's area. And straight away, as we have done the discussion relating to the methods of answer writing in the previous class, today we shall directly start the session by way of commencing the questions one by one. How I will approach these questions is, I'll first give you an overview, what is that question all about. Then I will speak about the intro, what you are supposed to write. Then I will speak about the method of main body in which you should write the answer. Then we can give way forward, suggestion, or what are the flaws you find in a given question. We will deal all those things. After completing those area, we can just move forward for the answer writing in general. Right, so these are the things which I have to inform you all before commencement of class. I have done that. With this, let us move on to the topic as such. So question number 1, the first question what we are going to deal: discuss the role of National Commission for Backward Class in the wake of its transformation from statutory body to a constitutional body. Right, so recently speaking, what happened, they have given the status. So recently means somewhat like within 5 years. So they have given the status. So earlier we had NCBC. So National Commission for Backward Class was there. There's no doubt in that. And now it is been converted into a constitutional body. So if you have a deep look upon the syllabus, let's say yesterday's syllabus as such, I told you in syllabus there is a word called as constitutional body, their function, organization, everything. So how does a constitutional body function, how they are working, and these are the questions which we are seeing as per the syllabus. Syllabus itself says we will be asking you a question in these area. Now you see this question as such, it may not be available in a book which is slightly older. If you are having an old edition, this topic may not be there. But still, when you read the topic of constitutional body, plus the constitutional status which is been given to a body based on the current affair, you are done with the question asked in the mains exam. Mostly speaking, in today's session, we'll have a look upon most of the questions asked in the recent paper, 2021-22 as such. Because by having a look on those things, again you will have a feel of happiness to answer these area. So now National Commission for Backward Class, why this question is coming, why this question is appearing in the examination, I told you the hint. The reason is that this question is being subjected to a current affair updation, and now this updation in turn is being asked as a question to you. So logic here is that we are getting questions not just like that in thin air they frame the question. Some big reform is happening, a big issue is happening, based on that they trigger you, they ask a question. So here, first thing, be sure that questions are being asked only based on happenings, recent happenings, and it is not like they ask a sedentary and outdated question. So first area, we are very clear why this question came, because this body was given a constitutional status. This body didn't had that status earlier. Now it has been conferred to them. When any body is being subjected to a new status, definitely it will be the cup of tea for UPSC to discuss those area. So now what we need to answer. So just to have a detailed look on the question paper. Number 1, it is giving the input to you that we need to answer the topic relating to the role. So one second. Okay. So here we need to know the issue relating to the role of this body, National Commission for the Backward Classes. And now in the wake of its transformation from a statutory body to a constitutional body. This is the question. And now we are very precise on this area. Always the advice is that you need to have a pencil or pen in your hand, underline the key term available in the question paper and go for answer writing. And I'll give you one more tip also for answer writing so that it will be convenient for you. When you are giving a particular question or when you are just answering something, please ensure that you are answering the question exactly what is being asked. And many a time while giving the question, we may get stuck up here and there in terms of not knowing what to write. At that time, just read the question again. And that too when you mark the key areas, role of National Commission for Backward Class in the wake of transformation from statutory to constitutional, definitely some new inflow will be available. This has been tested, therefore you do that. So first task is underlining the key area, which we have done. So after knowing that this particular body is being subjected to a transformation, now we will see how to go for the answer writing in general. In this topic, introduction, what and all is required, that I will tell you one by one. So now how we have to go forward. Question happens to be a 10 marker question. Sir, suppose this question is a 15 marker question, how we can answer? I'm just giving you from 15 marker perspective, then we can come down for the 10 marker perspective. 15 marks question. How to handle this question? Generally speaking, in case of India, the backward classes were not given that much of importance. So we are having reservation for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and all, but backward classes were not given that much of importance. And again, in the year 1950s and 1970s, two commissions got appointed. So Kaka Kalelkar Commission, BP Mandal Commission. So these two commissions got established. And these two commissions we can write if it is happening to be a 15 marker question. I am giving you from a long answer perspective, then we can trim it according to the demand of the question. Kaka Kalelkar Commission was the first backward class commission way back in 1953. Again 1970s we had next commission called as Mandal Commission. And you all know about Mandal Commission, this creamy layer, OBC, creamy, non-creamy, all those stuff came only after the Mandal Commission. So these two things we need to remember. And here the issue relating to NCBC, National Commission for Backward Class, how it all emerged. So there is a very famous case law, Indra Swane case law. I think you all are aware of this Indra Swane case law. So Indra Swane case law is talking about reservation and it says that it cannot exceed more than 50%. Any reservation beyond 50, we cannot permit that. That was the input as such given. So when 50% and above reservation cannot be given, so they just want to trim it. At that point of time, what to do for the backward classes? That was the question. Therefore, in the year 1993, a National Commission for Backward Class was kickstarted. See, the same name is there. Please understand. The National Commission for Backward Class is a name which is applicable to everything. Whether it is a statutory body or a constitutional body, the name has not changed. The name per se remains the same only. There is no difference in that. So National Commission for Backward Class is all based upon the Indra Swane case, and that judgment in turn created a great amount of uproar. So first thing we need to remember, what is this NCBC? So NCBC per se, you can just write two informations on this term which is called as NCBC. So what is National Commission for Backward Class? So National Commission for Backward Class is a body which has been set up after 1992 Indra Swane case, and this body came into force in the year 1993. When you write this particular answer, that itself will convey that you know the root of the question clearly. Any question as such when you address, you need to go by the root. And if you hit on the root properly, then the answer will be enlightened answer. It will not be a normal answer, right? So we are just giving the information relating to NCBC, how NCBC came into picture. Now a question comes, sir, should I write about the Kaka Kalilkar Commission or should I have to mention about BP Mandal Commission and all? Not required. Because question happens to be only 150 words, right? So all those detailed history we can ignore in this area. See, the words what are available for the answer writing in the mains examination are highly costly. So we have to use it appropriately. We can't use everything whatever we know. Otherwise, we will land up in giving information which is not fulfilling the demand of the question. So that area be very precise. And number 2, when it started. See, the next topic to be discussed is when this body got kick-started. Normally, this body is having the commencement and this particular commencement is based upon the Indira Swani case 1992 and this body came into force in the year 1993. So, we can mention the year also. And as a point in terms of enlightenment, please remember, whenever a question is being asked to you and you are giving some treasure points like Indira Swani case, 1992 judgment, body coming into force in the year 1993, a statutory body. These keywords what you are utilizing, please ensure that these are being highlighted. A simple tip to you. This year it didn't come, but in the last year prelims and all, whenever they are asking a question, which of the following statements are incorrect? What UPSC will do? They will bold the word called as incorrect and they will use the element of italics font to show it differently. See, when they are doing all these things, they just want to convey the message to the student that please have a look on this word. This is the key term here so that you don't make a mistake. Same thing we can also do it. We can also do it and this will give us more amount of comfort. Then we can go for when it was given the element of constitutional status as such. So 102 Amendment Act 2018 which is giving the constitutional status that can be incorporated in our answer. It can be highlighted also. And then the amendment and the year which is very important needs to be highlighted. Then we can write about Article 338B and 342A. So what is 338B and 342A? You can just mention these two articles got inserted into the Constitution of India after the enactment of particular NCBC as a constitutional body. That's it. If you give these things for the exam as an intro, the one who reads the paper will feel extremely comfortable that your answer is right answer. Sometimes speaking in the inner area, 1 or 2 points we will make error. And to error is human, right? Every human being will make an error. If at all you make an error also, the interaction what you give, if it is attractive, if it is able to pull the eyes of examiner, then you will get a good mark in the examination. In this I am pretty well sure. So you can do that without having any amount of ambiguity. Now introduction part, you are very clear. So I have to write about NCBC, when it started. If I know any amount of case laws or judgment relating to that, that also I will write. And when it was given a constitutional status, the amendment and the year, whatever it is there, I will mention. And at last, I'll write about Article 338B and 342A. So if I am done with this, then I can tell that definitely speaking, introduction part is a complete area. There's no amount of ambiguity in this. With this, we can go on to the next one. Now, main body. Before going into main body, let us check the question again. What they are asking: discuss the role of National Commission for Backward Class in the wake of transformation from a statutory to a constitutional body. So what they are asking: role. Yes or no? The key word in this question is role. Arey, what is your role, man? Now we have given you the status of a constitutional body. What you are going to do? So you have to think in your mind like comparing the bodies of the world, bodies of the India where we are having the constitutional status. Simply speaking, we have to think about, come on, let us say we have a body which is called as UPSC. Then we have a body, National Commission for Scheduled Caste. Then we have National Commission for Scheduled Tribe. Then we have something called as Finance Commission. By seeing all those things, we have to think this much of power has been delegated to a body. Now what they are going to do? If you get an answer for this question, then our flow will be continuous. Dear students, please remember in the examination, you should have excess of flow and there the question relating to deficit should never come. I should be having 25 point in my mind, but demand is only 8 point. Within that, how I am going to give the answer? 25 points I know, but just 8 they are demanding. How I am going to give the 8 point? That is how we have to go for the exam. And for this methodology, you please apply. Any topic you read, just go by these methods, what I am saying. That will definitely help you to score more in the exams, right? Next one, main body. Now, after constitutional status, what is the speciality? After giving the status, what special is this body is going to have? So generally speaking, we will speak about Article 340 of the Constitution. So Article 340 per se is talking about the National Commission for the Backward Class. So those who are subjected to social backwardness and economical backwardness, they are being subjected to great amount of support by the government, and they will be given some push, because reservation per se what they are giving should give them some empowerment. So in that we will discuss about Article 340. Sir, why you are giving articles here and there? Very simple. When we are giving the articles in polity paper, that will give us a score which is highly unimaginable. You can't even imagine that. You will have a score which is astonishing. So mention the article. Now, straight away, 10 marker question. No, so we can't write more about a particular article. So we have to be very precise to the point. Subsequently, what we can write to this question? Number 2. Now, constitutional status has been given to them. So, in this area, those who are being subjected to the social and educational backwardness, that alone will be discussed by NCBC. So I think earlier I said education, economical background. No, it is social and educational backwardness. So just have a noting of that. So social and educationally, those who are backward, and for all those people, whatever issue is happening, that can be decided by this constitutional body called as NCBC. NCBC per se now is having the power. You might ask a question, sir, what is investigation and monitoring the cases? Sometimes, for example, here you just see we are using the term investigating, and next one is monitoring the cases. A backward class person may not be subjected to the inclusion list. A backward class person might feel that I belong to backward class. My particular rights are being denied. Nobody is there to come and help me. What I have to do now? When this question comes to his mind, who is the person who is going to help him? NCBC will do. They will come and investigate the matter. For example, I belong to a particular caste. Let's say my caste is being considered as a backward class in the list available for each state. But my government is denying all the rights to me. I am not able to enjoy any of the right. So what I will do now? In this criteria, they will just move forward to know what is the problem, why you are being denied. At times, they can even utilize the anthropologist support to just understand what are the problems available. Why he is being denied. Anthropologically, does he belongs to the backward class? They'll ask about the rituals, performance of marriage, death, all those questions. In that case, this investigation and monitoring the cases related to socially and educationally backward classes henceforth will become the responsibility of this particular NCBC. Now it is over. After this, what they will do? Social economical development of backward classes. Very important. Social development, economical development. Two terms I am using here in terms of mains answer writing. What it is? I am just giving you hint. So we can't write this alone. No, this is only a hint. From this we have to just develop the lines which are applicable to the given question. Social, economical development. So what we are supposed to do in this area. Now here they will ensure that social development per se indicates in society normally we are being subjected to Varna system. You all know that. South India, North India, East India, West India, wherever we go, we have Varna system. So in society, when people are being marginalized, suppose for example, Brahmanism is dominating, the other members, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas are not able to enjoy anything. At that point of time, now here, this particular NCBC will ensure that socially these communities are being subjected to development. Number two, economic development. So they will be given the opportunity for employment. Whenever they are being denied the employment opportunity, it will be ensured that the avenues for their employment growth is getting guaranteed. So these will be subjected to the assistance. So you can write social development and economic development of the backward classes will be ensured by way of improving their status. So improving their status in the society, which is very essential, and they have to give some amount of employment opportunity also to these members. So employment opportunity and status improvement should be taken care. So for that, anything they can do, because now they are being empowered like a constitutional body, no. So there is no limit for them. They can do everything to a large extent. Then very important function. Now they become constitutional body. What they will do? They will give the report to the president. So president in turn, you see here, I will tell you from prelims and mains point of view. Only once in a year, National Commission for Backward Class will give the report to President of India. And number two, National Commission for Backward Class is a constitutional body. If this question comes in prelims area, in the same topic, we cannot give the answer as both 1 and 2. Why? National Commission for Backward Class is a constitutional body, well and good. Okay, there is no doubt in that. But if I tell only once they will give, it is a wrong statement. Whenever President is giving a call, I just want to know about the status of these people, it should be subjected to acceptance. So always whenever there is an element of question on National Commission for Backward Classes, if at all they ask whether President is supposed to give in a very limited time or President is subjected to ask n number of time, please understand, whenever there is any pertaining issue of the backward classes, when President is asking any time during the year, this body is liable to give report to President of India. Sir, these people are not asking, sir, what we can do. They themselves can submit the report that these are the status, further improvements can be done for the backward class community. And then at last, what they will do, suppose if there is any amount of report which is pertaining to state government. Sometimes some state may not do good. Some state would have done extremely well. So there are possibilities of both the result, right? So whenever some state is not doing good, such a state what has not done good or some recommendations on that state will be shared with the president or the state in terms of governor, which in turn will become one of the mandate of this body when it comes to the element of NCBC. Next, what they will do? Protection, welfare and development of the communities who are being labeled as backward class. So protection, welfare and development of BC. Sir, what is protection? See, sometimes speaking, these communities may be subjected to high-handedness by authorities. Yes or no? Generally speaking, authorities may misuse their power. So in that area, any protection which is constitutionally available to them, in which they are being deprived of their right, will be ensured to them. Point number 1, remember this area. Number 2, welfare program. So normally speaking, we create welfare measures, all these central government schemes are there. We will see that these schemes reach these members. At last, development of backward class. So in general, we just want to improve them. See, please understand, we are not bothered on the aspects of just giving reservation. I just want to convey this point very strongly. When you write the answer, don't write a wrong answer. When we are subjected to some amount of reservation, it is always a matter of fact that we are not willing to just give reservation. More than reservation, we have to ensure that we are giving a great amount of answer in terms of their holistic development. We want them to develop in a holistic manner. Just like that, improving by giving reservation. Okay, come on, 10% is given to you, take it. 10%, 12% hardly will have any amount of impact as long as this reservation is entitling them for a holistic development. Now, NCBC will do this work. Earlier, they cannot do this work. Now, they are being empowered. Next one, civil court power. It's a very new power which NCBC got after the element of constitutional status. Civil court. So criminal court, civil court is there. No, a court generally you will be knowing. They can summon the individual. They can ask some information. They can get the detail. Like authority, like like a court authority, like a civil court, they will be bestowed with all the powers. They can ask the person to submit a document. They can ask for additional document. They can ask for additional witness in a given area. All these things which they were not enjoying earlier, today they are being guaranteed these powers. And NCBC now will be subjected to a very new arena where they will be subjected to specific complaint inquiry. One individual, I belong to backward class. Only one person. Sir, I have a very big grievance against the government. Government is not doing justice to me. Only one person. Can I approach NCBC? Yes. And even specific complaint, though not for a larger community. I am not saying for a whole lot of community. One man, when he finds that his rights are being deprived, he is being subjected to some amount of issues which is not healthy, he can definitely approach NCBC. That will be taken care. And this particular NCBC now is having a mandate. See, all these points why I am giving to you is because the role is getting transformed after the formation of NCBC as a constitutional body. General advice, sir, what and all we can do. And for this even you can use Niti Aayog help also can be obtained. You know that Niti Aayog is a think tank of India. So they will give the suggestions. What if we are doing will improve the element of the specific problem we have given to them. Suppose we are giving a problem. There is a water scarcity in Rajasthan. They give solution to us how to solve the problem. Likewise, how backward class community can be improved. What we can do to improve them. What and all if we are doing will improve them to a large extent. These are the common areas which we are having as a doubt. And these things will get rectified to a large extent with the help of NCBC. And even they can summon, examine any individual, and even we can ask them to make oath and affirmation relating to the statements, whatever is valid. And based on these input, the NCBC is now really becoming a powerful thing. Maybe earlier it was a toothless tiger, but now the tiger is being subjected and fitted with all teeth so that it is able to do the real work what a tiger will do. So now power has been increased for NCBC. Now here 342A is a very important article relating to NCBC that we have to remember. Please understand, this is a very vital area. Here what they are suggesting. See, still I am into main body. I haven't come for conclusion. I am still talking about main body. Intro I gave. Now main body I am doing. In this main body, what is the next one? 342A. Now, generally speaking, if any particular community, which is a backward class community, if they need to add or if they want to delete into the list of backward classes, henceforth it will be done in a transparent manner. Earlier and all, it will be done just like that. So now transparency will come. What are the methods they are applying? And for this, NCBC's constitutional status is really a strongest indication. So here, the main purpose of NCBC is quite simple. We just want to ensure that the element of equality is getting ensured. So please remember, here the topic is aiming for equality. And this equality means what, sir? SC, ST, BC. BC means OBC in general and the general caste, the forward caste. Every one of them should be subjected to equal opportunity. Unequal opportunity cannot be as such accepted. Therefore, we will go for equality of opportunity. And here NCBC is not only a body to deal only with the issue of giving reservation, which I told you already. More than reservation, they have to ensure that the element of the status given to them is giving the benefit to the backward classes. Now last one, apprehensions. So here see the statement what I am using, apprehensions. That means what are the issues in general. So what are the issues I have in general relating to this body. What are the issues I face? What are the issues which I need to tackle will be dealt in this area. So we are deeply concerned to know about what are the issues in this topic. Plus we will also have the input relating to how this particular body which is having some negative can be sorted out in the days to come. So, whenever there is any amount of pressing issue that needs to be handled, we need to handle this carefully. So, for that, what are the remedies available? We will do. First thing, hit on the head formula. Recommendations not binding. Whatever NCBC says, it's not binding. Just a value addition to you at this point of time. Like, I don't know how many of them are knowing that. When UPSC is giving a recommendation, you clear your prelims, mains, then at last you will be recommended, right? So they will give the marks, everything, then DOPT will finalize. After doing everything, the list of names what they publish, at last the government can say that the entire list given by UPSC, we will not take it. The entire list, 800 candidates, all rank 1 to rank 800, whatever you gave, no, you're going to reject it. But they have to inform in the parliament why you want to reject them. Some reasons will be there that they have to do. And if they do that, constitutionally it is not wrong. Parliament is having a right to reject the recommendations of UPSC also. So when UPSC recommendation itself is getting rejected, not having a binding impact on the government of India, NCBC recommendations are also not binding. They cannot have any amount of binding nature. Simply speaking, they will give the suggestion. It is up to the government to decide yes or no. First negative thing. See, imagine in case of India, you have all fundamental right and you don't have Article 32, right to constitutional remedy. Then all fundamental right are mere words in the paper. That fundamental right hardly will have any impact. Yes or no? The same logic applies here. NCBC per se, which is now given a constitutional status, at last is being subjected to a big problem in which the recommendations are not subjected to any amount of binding value. Second negative thing, they cannot define the term backward class. But that body will be called as National Commission for Backward Class. Sir, you are National Commission for Backward Class, but can you tell what are the ingredient for a person to be called as a backward class? No, we cannot tell. Then what is the purpose of giving the power to this body? You see, the flaws like this, when flaws are being identified, come on, you can do the way forward wonderfully. There is no doubt in that. Number 3, there is no expert in case of NCBC. The chairman, all members, whomever they appoint by the president, there is no amount of expert. But even Supreme Court of India is time and again suggesting that we have to go by appointing experts. But experts are not being appointed. Therefore, when experts are not there, you appoint just like that bureaucrats. Then there is no big amount of reform these people can bring for the backward class community. What is the big use? For example, when there is a tribal advisory council, you bring a person who is not a tribal. He comes and sits into the chair. Tribals are coming in large number. They come and tell their problem. Can they answer the issue? Will a man sitting as a chairman who is a non-tribe know the pain of the tribal community? Not possible, no. So here experts are needed to be appointed. And sorry to say, no experts got appointed in this body. And at last, please understand, this is a wonderful statement which I want to give it to you. This particular constitutional status is not a panacea. What is panacea? Please note somewhere, one-stop solution. So, panacea indicates one-stop solution. One-stop solution. Sir, just give me one tablet in which all my disease has to cure. Like that, when people ask, no, it will be called as panacea. One-stop solution. So, just by giving constitutional status for a kind information, it is nowhere a guarantee that all the problems will get resolved. It is only a beginning. We have to wait and watch what this body is going to do in the days to come. Last, way forward. Suggestion. Sir, what we can give, sir? First thing, very important, just to give the element of grassroots level experts are definitely needed in this body. Grassroots level experts. Who are they, sir? Those are the members who know the real problem. Just like that, adding the members only from raw bureaucracy is not going to help. But we can't write like that. So don't write the answer. Bureaucracy alone should not be coming there. Just give suggestion. if the experts at grassroots level are being inculcated in NCBC, it will add more value and it will be helping the NCBC to perform its function in a vibrant manner. Number 2, gender sensitive NCBC composition, male, female. When you give equality of opportunity, that in turn can promote the causes of the women to a large extent. At last, transparency in their functioning is definitely a must need, if fulfilled, shall empower the NCBC to a largest extent. This is all about NCBC. You see what and all we discussed: introduction, then the history of NCBC, why NCBC came, before that what were the commissions available, then the main issues after becoming a constitutional body, what are their main role, then we spoke about the apprehensions, the issues, the negative factor. At last we are giving the way forward. This is all about the element of NCBC question. Now tell me, in this question, is there any difficult point as such? Nothing is difficult. It is only the matter of regular reading of the book, regular reading of newspaper. That's it. Time and again, one message I am conveying to you so that this point is getting inculcated in your memory to a large extent. Now, second question. So question number 2, what is the value? We just want to share with you. To what extent, in your opinion, has decentralization of power in India changed the governance landscape at the grassroots? Very simple question. Again, first thing, what we will do? First thing, to what extent? Then the question is, in your opinion, what a liberty UPSC is giving. Yes, in your opinion, that's all. So opinion will differ. Yes or no? All will not have same opinion. Number 2, each person can give their own opinion also, because liberty has been given. To what extent, in your opinion? So this point remember. Next one, decentralization of power has changed the governance landscape at grassroots level. This is the question. The prima facie question here is how it has changed to a large extent. And we know pretty well how these are going to work in the element of our administration. So what they are asking, a person who is regular to UPSC will know that the question is based on Panchayati Raj institutions. Am I right? Panchayati Raj institutions is a topic which they wanted to ask. Now in this Panchayati Raj institution, whatever they feel like conveying will be done. And we are going to commence in this area only. There is no amount of doubt in this. Question is clear, no? Decentralization of power has happened. So this word I can divide into 2 categories. So here I can tell one will be called as centralized power. One second. Centralized power. This was there in case of India before 1992. At that time we had only 2 layers: central government, state government. Then it was being subjected to a great amount of decentralized powers. So what is decentralized power? Making the power getting divided among many members. If one is controlling everything, it is centralized. Now it is being decentralized. Come on, I alone will not have everything. Let all the members divide everything. This, when you tell, it is being subjected to decentralization. Now we are very clear. We don't have any amount of ambiguity. We are being subjected to a clear opinion relating to the question. And they are asking how it has changed the governance landscape. What is governance? What is government? This is the first topic which we need to know before answering this question. Sir, governance is something in which the services of the government are reaching the common man. Government is the machinery which we are using. If we go by the current government, what they are saying, more governance, less government. I repeat, more governance, less government. We don't want n number of government office to work here and there, make the people to wait for a long time, and then ensure some amount of, the old historical time, some amount of high-handedness. We just want to have a great amount of liberty, and we want to ensure that the people are having a good amount of thinking process in which they are able to enjoy the element of services without much difficulty. So governance is service part. Government is manpower which they are using to ensure that services reaches them. This is all about governance and government. So they are asking about the governance. That means the services of the government. How this has changed the services reaching the grassroots level people very comfortably. If you ask the very basic word for Panchayati Raj institution is otherwise called as grassroots level democracy. I repeat, grassroots level democracy. Grassroots level democracy is a term what we are using in this area. And this again gives a louder message to us, that is, in these topics of grassroots level democracy, we have some sense of responsibility that it is not just top to bottom, rather from bottom to top the element of authority is flowing. Not just like that, what people say in the top, it will be followed sincerely. From henceforth, whatever people say, even in the bottom level, those who are subjected to the grassroots level, their issues also will be dealt with utmost care. This is what we just want to convey in this area. So we are more obsessed in knowing that the issue relating to this topic is based on how the services will be reaching each and everyone comfortably. So in this area, whenever there is a topic on this issue relating to the grassroots level democracy and all, we need to have great amount of understanding that they talk about PRIs. Now, introduction. Sir, how to go for that? How to go for introduction? Always, when you respect the question, it has a greater value. Please remember, when you respect the question, it is having a greater value. First thing is that explain the term democratic decentralization. Democratic. So what is democratic? That means it should be done with the entire amount of keeping the people at the center. Number two, decentralization. So how we can define these two terms? Democratic decentralization is a term which is very much essential relating to the aspect of power devolution. Henceforth, the power will be subjected to decentralization. One person alone or only few people alone will not have all the powers. The power will be divided. All will be subjected to enjoyment of power to a larger extent. This term means the term called as democratic decentralization. Number two, it should not be based on anything less than constitution. So constitution has to give a space for this activity to emerge. Then only this particular democratic decentralization will be considered as ideal. See, introduction, what you are going to write? Democratic decentralization. It means the power will be subjected to devolution, right? So power will be subjected to devolution. Power will be changed. And now no more we will be subjected to the next term called as concentration of authority. Concentration of authority. No more this will be permitted. So power will get devolved, concentration will not happen. That will convey the right message relating to democratic decentralization. And number two, this process must happen in terms of constitutional status, not just like that. Then number three, without writing Article 70, the 73rd and 74th Amendment Act, our answer will be incomplete. Definitely speaking. When a question is based on grassroots level democracy, even in the essay paper or the GS2 paper, we have to write about 73rd and 74th. So 73rd will speak about the Panchayat, 74th will speak about the municipality, urban local government. These two are definitely required. And the local government, what we are going to deal is coming under the state subject. You all know how the schedule is getting divided. So we are having some schedules in the constitution in which 7th schedule will speak about the division of power. So we have state list, union list, concurrent list. So now this local government, what I am talking is a state subject item. So here the states are supposed to do large amount of homework than the center, because states will be giving more power to the local bodies so that they can function without any amount of difficulty. And then we will write about 11th and 12th schedule. There are some list of subjects allocated to Panchayat and municipality. It is mentioned over there. Then we will write about fulfilling the Article 40 of the Constitution of India. So organizing the village Panchayat, and we wanted to have a great amount of self-sufficiency, right? So this is getting realized. So one of the dream of Mahatma Gandhi is coming into picture. Therefore, local self-government is coming into this impact. Again, a question comes, sir, should I write about the father of local government, person called as Lord Representative? Not required. A simple 10-mark question. No, need not write all those things. Unnecessarily, it will give you facts which are no way linked with the particular question. In every question, I am giving you some facts and I am saying do not write that. Because when you know what you should not write in the examination, it will be very easy to be precise in the exam. Interaction, these areas should be there. The first 4 to 5 lines, democratic decentralization denotes the power is getting shared and there is no more concentration of authority. And the power transfer will be done in a constitutional manner. 73rd and 74th Amendment Act speaks about the power devolution to Panchayat and municipality. That's it. Among these 6 points, at least 3 or 4 you mention in the interaction, first body of the question. Because that is where the examiner comes to know what is the understanding of you on this given question. Suppose if you give a finite interaction, it will convey the message that come on, this person is having a good knowledge. Now in this area, introduction part we are done as such. Then changes at grassroots level. Grassroots level means what? These many days, these people never ever had any amount of opportunity. And now, luckily speaking, these people are being blessed to know more things as such, which they were not knowing earlier. Now they are being as such entitled to know. Now these changes can be visualized to a very large extent. So what are the things we are going to do? How this is going to help us? Now we will deal in this topic to a clear understanding and a clear perspective of knowing how this is going to help us. First thing, always know when you write an answer, please remember women are given the priority. Women should be given the priority in your answer writing. And one more point I just want to suggest you, any answer you write, if you are completely against a woman, though it may be your personal choice, I don't want to come and comment on that. If at all you want to write something negative about the women, be prepared to lose some mark in the exams also. Because we do not know which person is going to value the paper. And imagine if it goes to a hardcore feminist and you write very bad about the woman, then be prepared for the upcoming prelims exam. In that mains exam, you will not get the score what you want. So always have a neutral stand. Do not blame one gender to a large extent. It is not healthy also. Okay, personal values and emotions have zero role to be played in UPSC. Right? Number 1, women participation. This is one of the biggest achievement what I feel in case of the element of the topic relating to what this particular body has done in general. Women participation. These many days, women were not even allowed to come out of the house. See, in sociology, what we teach, in the element of sociology, we have a great amount of understanding that the women were subjected to only rearing and bearing of child. More than that, she will not be permitted to do any activity. But now, after this Panchayati Raj institution, women participation has increased. So, your answer should have this statement number 1. Women participation, have the side heading and write 1/3 of seats are being reserved for women in the local self-government, which in turn has increased the role of women in political participation to a large extent. That's it. This point is sufficient to ensure that you are answering the question with right amount of value for this grassroots level democracy. Right. Number 2, factual data. I told you no, case judgment, articles, facts. These three are very essential for polity answer writing. Remaining thing, the respective faculties will tell. With regard to my subject, I am saying that facts, case judgment, and the articles mentioned in the constitution. These we need to definitely by heart. Otherwise, marks will not be awarded. So, number 2, there are certain states like Orissa, Bihar, where the women are subjected to more than 50%. You see this miracle number. How many are there? Sir, we are having not one or two, 50% of the members who are subjected to powerhouse in the local level government are women. And this is the biggest achievement of Panchayati Raj institutions. How it has changed? It has changed in this way. This way is something miraculous, really awesome. And this achievement, we are able to make it. Number 3, after having this particular PRI, Panchayati Raj institutions, now the states in case of India have devolved more amount of powers to the Panchayati Raj institution. Point number 3. Now, to answer this question only, in previous slide I told you local government is a state subject. Local government happens to be a state subject. So, who will give the power? Only the local governments, respective state governments will give. So, state government will take responsibility and they will start giving more amount of powers. Then we are having a specific body. The key term in this particular question is called as District Planning Committee, DPC. District Planning Committee, and the element of urban local government and the development in terms of improving the districts in terms of planning is getting nurtured with a good amount of maturity after emergence of DPC. And at last, the people are able to participate in decision making. What a wonderful opportunity. You can write regular meetings of Gram Sabha. Yes or no? So you should know the real grassroots level democracy begins with Gram Sabha. So just mention the statement that Gram Sabha regular meeting is again an indication that we are able to bring big changes. The people who were earlier not permitted, now they are being given the chance to come and empower in these area. This in turn will be giving good amount of value system. See, from the beginning, we are very precise to the question. No amount of leakages here and there. We just tell exactly what the question demands. Try to go by the answer in this perspective, which will help you a lot. Sir, I have some more points also to add. Can I add? Absolutely, you can do it. We never stop you from doing like that, but please check whether your answer is being subjected to a good amount of flow of connection. For that, we use a term called as organic link. What is organic link? See the first point and second point. Just see these 2 points. First point says women participation has increased. Second point, I am telling that the women participation in some states are more than 50%. When I see first and second, these two will give a link to each other, which is called as organic link. And see the last two, district planning committee and then people participation in decision making. So in one area, they are trying to improve the element of services, welfare measure. Other thing, people are able to come and give the suggestion. So these two are interlinked. If you give the answer in an interlinked, organic linked manner, that in turn will promote this issue to a very large extent. Then, what is the achievement they have done? So we should write about some great achievement and all. No, in case of India, 2019, we are having something called as this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So you'll be knowing about this Swachh Bharat. So they are going to make India ODF free, open defecation. So India is one country where we had a great amount of open defecation. People hardly use the a water closet based latrine system. They go for the open defecation. and that is creating great amount of environmental and health issues also. So just to avoid all those things, we have anchored the local government. We have utilized the local government. And what is the utilization, sir? We have made the local government, which in turn has made the status of ODF, open defecation free. No amount of open defecation, and people will be now encouraged to use only the elements of latrine facility with water closets, no more dry latrine, and this in turn is an achievement emerging only because of the PRI. And then next question is next achievement is self-help group, which is a big successful impact for a woman in case of India. See, women are generally considered to be blessed with a good amount of financial management. When they are doing a good amount of financial management, they should be given some opportunity, right? Some credit is required. Just like that, I can't ask a woman to do wonders in air. So she can't do things in air, right? She needs some money. And for that, self-help group got a good amount of nurturing with the help of PRI, which in turn has improved the grassroots level democracy, a grassroots level achievement. Issues and way forward. So is all good. Every time, whatever we say, we just talk about these two issues. One is the issues and way forward. Sir, what are the problem mainly we are having? And what is the solution to this? So for this, I have a wonderful, answer. If you go by the method of, Hindu paper reading and express paper, Indian Express and Hindu. Hindu paper, when you read issues and way forward, you will get so beautifully. Yes, no doubt in that. Why people prefer Hindu to a large extent is, at last we have to give some comment to know what are the problems we are having. Hindu is a leftist paper, so they will give all flaws. Any program you give it to them, you bring it to their knowledge, they will tell 25 points which are the negative point. Even the person who drafted the program will not know those many points, but Hindu will give you all the points. A student who is noting all those things, sometimes our character also becomes pessimistic when we read all leftist content. But just one day read the express paper, and they have a column called as explained in that. Read that area, you will know things in a positive manner. So why people go for Hindu is, it will help you in this area of answer writing. So first issue, anything, everything for a business is based on finance. Without finance, nothing is there. Therefore, first problem is funding. Whatever is the amount of money which you are giving to the local government, it is insufficient. The fund given to them is not happening. The fund supplied to them is not appropriate. At times they are being given money, but the money whatever is being given to them is not adequate for them to do their service. And many a time this particular funding is a major reason in many states PRIs have become a failed institution. There will be no staff available. Even if staff is there, they will hire only contractual laborers. They will come sometime. When you don't pay them salary, who will come and work for you? Then they will quit their office. All these negative things are happening. And to just control these things, better we can go for a great amount of funding enhancement. We can give them good amount of money so that it is helping them to a large extent. First issue is finance, because the lifeblood of every business is based on the finance. So funding is very essential. Finance is essential. We need to take care of that. Number 2, see, this problem is again a very big Himalayan issue which needs to be controlled as such, failing which this will again create irritation. Duplication of function. Many functions are done by state government. Many are done by local government. State government, local government, when both of them overlap each other, no, that's it. They will tell you do it. These people will tell you have to do it. At last, that work will remain stalled. So there is no big clarity on which state government will do, which local government will do. It's creating great amount of trouble. And at last, the apathy is that there is no coordination between whom one, the state government, and other is the local government. State government, local government, no coordination. They create great amount of issues and they don't have good amount of consensus, and these people are always at loggerhead. So it is creating a trouble. So first point, what you will write? finance is the lifeblood of every business. Likewise, in Panchayat Raj institution, to work efficiently, funding is not being granted to them. That's all. Over. Number 2. Second one. Duplication of function. State government and local government, many areas they are overlapping in performance of their function, and because of this they are not able to have clarity in their functioning. Number 3. There is no coordination between the local government and the state government, resulting in failure of this institution. At last, autonomy is missing for this local bodies. Sir, what is autonomy? The freedom to work in the way what they want. But local governments are not been permitted. They are being always subjected to screwing by the state government. And state government will take all upper hand, because still in case of India, vote bank politics prevail. There is no doubt in that. When vote bank politics are there, when autonomy is not being granted, when everyone wants to take the pride in doing the work, at last work is getting disturbed, and this disturbance is creating a huge amount of issue. So we need to be more comfortable to do this area, otherwise it will create a problem. Now question number 3, the third question, a very important question from Act. Every time Parliament will make an act, and I remember there is one website also, PRS India, which people follow to know about the act. If you just click on that website, so many acts will be there. How many are pending, how many are passed, which is pending in Lok Sabha, which is pending in Rajya Sabha, how many got dropped. They will give you the entire list of all those things. After having those inputs, we will be in dilemma. How to read all those things? PRS will be 20 to 30 pages full of acts. We can't remember everything. So, generally, you please remember for weaker section. So, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, women, disabled people, transgender community, these are very close to governmental agenda. Government will always strive to improve their status. Government will always be keen to improve their status. Sir, why they have to improve their status? What is the need for that? When they improve their status, that shows that government is a responsible and inclusive government. For that only, these areas we have to remember. Should I remember all the legislations? Not required. Any news which is coming in the paper for more than 3 days, no, remember that. That will be UPSC's cup of tea. Just it came as just a one day news, a flash news here and there, not required. So here, disabled question. So disabled members. The first thing is that the right of persons with disability. This is the exact legislation made by the government. And for that they are saying it is remaining only as a legal document without intense sensitization of government functionary and citizens regarding disability. Comment it. Now we have made legislation, no doubt in that. We thought wonders will happen. But after making legislation, now they have conveyed the message that this legislation is there in paper, but in practice, what is the result? We don't know. Many people are not even able to know that. Sensitivity is not there. Citizens are not knowing about the issues relating to the disabled rights. In this area, what is your understanding? Very simple. A disabled person coming to government office should be given the facility of a ramp. R-A-M-P, ramp. What is ramp? Elevated structure in which without a staircase you can just move the wheelchair and enter into the office. In many offices we have seen, you will be having a slanting type of floor system, elevated floor system, where we can just drive through the wheelchair. Others will be steps for the common man to climb. Many government offices have not installed the ramp. Many government offices have failed to implement the ramp. This is enough to tell that despite legislation, they are not willing to give any amount of comfort to these members. I'll give you one more input also. Every person in case of India is entitled to watch a movie. Yes or no? Anybody who feels, sir, I want to watch a movie is entitled. But a person who is disabled cannot watch a movie inside a theatre. Have you ever seen disabled seats? Some 10 seats are there for disabled people to come inside the theatre, sit inside the theatre. No, not possible. Mild disability, they will come. But those who are extremely disabled, those who don't have two legs, for those people to enter into theatre, sit in their wheelchair and watch a movie, hardly facility is being given. So this indicates that many of the functions, what they are supposed to do, they are not doing. Let's move on to the question and the method how to answer it. Introduction. What is this legislation all about? Yes or no? So what you will write? Write the same line. The Right of Persons with Disability Act 2016 wants to inculcate certain benefits to disabled section, and that should be sensitized to the government officials and the public for the holistic development. Exactly, this is what you write in the first line. Subsequent line, next thing, what we have to write, what is missing in the act. Something, there is a problem, no? Some issue is there. Otherwise, why this will be a question in UPSC? Are they having any amount of insaneness? No, they are sane. They'll ask question only based on some amount of logic. The logic here is quite simple. What is missing? This act has failed to give sensitivity. The people do not know how to handle a disabled person. The people are completely naive in handling this section, and because of this it creates a great amount of trouble. Legislation is there, implementation is missing. Without implementation, just by having legislation alone, miracles won't happen, right? And for that to happen, we need to do something productive. So introduction, we spoke about the act. Second line, we are giving the fact that this act has failed to sensitize the government officials and general public to know about the issues of disabled people and what are their demands in specific. These two are the core area but completely missing. Therefore, we are not able to handle that. Now, what are the main issues? So, question is telling that it is only a paper. Question is now just giving a great amount of mockery towards the common man. They are telling that, hey, come on, the act is there, man. With that, what to do? Nothing will happen. Come on, we will not do anything as such. We are deeply constrained to accept this. When this is the issue coming into picture, we need to be more provocative to give the answer. First point in this legislation is awareness. Government is making a number of facts. I'll tell you with an example to make this topic more clear. Before the advent of COVID, we had something called as Citizenship Amendment Act. So it was a question of some religion. So Muslim community members from few countries were permitted. Some few countries were not been given the permission, like Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh. Muslims were not been given, and even if they come, the citizenship rights were being denied. So some issue happened between the Muslims of some three countries, and in case of India, all Muslims thought that in future we also will be forced to leave this country called as India. This was the issue. The entire nation was subjected to law and order problem. Everywhere the people were facing great amount of wrath. The people were involving in law and order disturbances. So a question comes, does all legislations are so good, only Citizenship Act is so bad? No, not like that. People are more interested because it is coming as a matter of religious question. Otherwise, it will pass like another act. And after the advent of COVID, people completely forgot what do you mean by Citizenship Amendment Act. Yes or no? The same logic happens here. Disabled people, we should do something good. All those things were big amount of demand. But after that, what is the act? What government wants to say? Nothing is very clear. Government has made the statements pretty well, but people do not have the awareness relating to the act. What we are supposed to do, they are not having the awareness. So first point which we need to remember in this area relating to the scheme, relating to the act made by the government is awareness. The key essence. We need to know what is the core area relating to the aspect of the act that itself people are not having. When people do not have the awareness, how will they support what the government is saying in terms of law? That is the reason this law has become a failure. It has not served the purpose completely. Number 2, government staffs are not cooperative. You see, this is the biggest pain for disabled section. Government officials are considered to be the face. They are the index. Any person who wants any service from the government will assume that government officials are having all the powers and they will do something good for them. At last, what happens? Whatever is their demand, that demand is not getting fulfilled. They are being subjected to huge amount of mockery, and at last there are many a time a problem that these issues are not getting resolved to a full extent. So government staffs are not cooperative. They are not willing to implement any of these provision. A disabled person coming to the office has been denied his right despite parliament making a law in this particular area of disabled section. Then number 3, discrimination and exclusion. See, sometimes speaking, the issue relating to the members, particularly those who belong to the section of this disabled section, they are being subjected to discrimination. First problem, sir, what do you mean by discrimination, sir? They just create some amount of ruckus here and there, and at last they say that you are not entitled to do these things, you have to leave this area, come on, you don't have a right to proceed in these things. These and all are small issues, however creating a big problem for the members who are disabled, and at last they are being subjected to unwanted exclusion. See, being disabled is not their mistake, right? It is the mistake not because of them, because of some other reason. In that area, when they are being subjected to that much of value system, there is a great amount of possibility that these sections who are being excluded feel the pain despite having a legislation. See, always know, whenever we are being subjected to discrimination, the pain is really something which words cannot explain. Every one of us had a right to movement. During COVID time, they said curfew implemented, sit inside the house. Every one of us knew how painful it was to stay within the four walls of the house. We never had the comfort, no? We always had difficulty to move in that area. When that is the issue going on, sometimes it is becoming very painful also. So right to Persons with Disability Act, which came to save them, just because of discrimination, exclusion done by them, they are being subjected to a big amount of painful process. And most importantly, their education, employment and all public service which they are entitled are being denied. I have seen in certain public transport system in Asian countries, a separate amount of facility is available for those who are disabled. They are able to enter, they are able to, the staircase is just coming down, they are able to go inside that, it is getting lifted, they just go inside the bus, they travel comfortably. See, the same disabled person of some other Asian country, when he is having that right, why won't an Indian demand that? So he also needs those things, no, but that is not being given to them. So in this area, the issue relating to the aspect of service getting denied, education getting denied, employment getting denied are the major things which is creating a big problem for their holistic development. These people, though they want to develop, they are unable to proceed forward only because of these issues. So this needs an urgent amount of solution. Now, what is the way forward? How to go for that? So we spoke about the problem. What are the way forward we can do to empower this particular issue? First and foremost important thing is proper training. Everywhere we have training. IAS officers are subjected to training in Mussoorie. Lal Bahadur Shastri, National Academy of Administration, they give training. Why? Though you read history, geography, polity, economy, everything, at last, though we have a feel that come on, we know everything, still they give us training to be an ideal bureaucrat. The same logic holds good here. The government officials must be trained in terms of handling the members who belong to the section of disability or disabled section. So disabled members, they should know how to handle them perfectly. Only when they know that, it will give a good amount of implementation of the law. If they do not know these things, then it is very tough for them to proceed forward. Please understand this topic. Number 2, one of the finest tool what we have is the social media. What a social media cannot do, please tell me. The power of social media, sometimes have made some persons to come to power in government. Sometimes some people are being forced to resign from the existing post whatever they hold only because of social media. So social media can be a powerful tool which can be anchored by the government to promote the issues relating to disability. See, when they are able to make 99% of Indians wear a mask when they come out during COVID time, they can definitely have the same ability to convey the message if government decides. If they want, they can do it. If they want to go ahead and convey a message, they can definitely do it, and that will not have any amount of big difficulty. And this issue, what they are going, will enable them to ensure that the message is getting spread to the communities to a large extent. And then, very important, we can go for awareness campaign also. Disabled Act in district collectorate, in the taluk office, tehsildar office, there and all, we can go for using the awareness. We have this government channels, no? Government channels, government all India radio, there and all we can go and do a great amount of awareness where people will feel comfortable to address these things, to know these things. That too, when you speak to them in their regional language, message will spread so comfortably. And then we have something called as star campaigning, called as celebrity propaganda. So Indians are always obsessed to Indian cinema, right? So the cinema is having a very powerful role in case of India. So the celebrities, when they come and tell about the disabled section and they write, the number of audience will increase. When MS Dhoni is coming, the number of members who watch live for IPL is increasing, right? Same wise, we can use the celebrities to promote the issue of disabled sections and their problem. And then achievements should get published. It's very important thing. Though we have some apprehensions. For example, a policeman will be giving the front page photo pic. An accused involved in chain snatching has been arrested. All the police officers in that particular police station will come, and the accused will be sitting in the floor, and they will take a pic in front page it. Actually speaking, that is their duty. Yes or no? To control the law and order only, they are being paid by the government from the taxpayers' money. That is their duty. Nothing to front page. But sometimes when achievements are being made, when you are able to make the entire state have a good amount of knowledge in the disabled section, and not even one member is getting subjected to an amount of rejected for no rhyme or reason, that when you publish, it will be a great amount of celebration, so that we can do it to a larger extent, right? Okay, so now I just want to share some information relating to Sriram IAS Academy. So now we are having the issue of optional classes and GS foundation class. So as of now, we are being subjected to a new batch which is getting kick-started. So the batch as such will be June 8th batch. So the current batch as such, it is there, and upcoming batches also will be getting increased in the days to come. And we have mentioned the option dates also. So sociology option 15th April, PubAd 24th April, PSAR 24th April, economics 24th April, and history option 2nd May. So comprehensive batches on sociology, PubAd, all these got kick-started. Again, the new batches will commence. So when there is any amount of commencement of preparation, do not delay it. The early you are, the more comfortable you will be to clear the examination. So better we can move forward to learn these things. And then next one, we have a 1-year program. So a complete amount of offline coaching. English coaching, that's very essential. So English based learnings will be given to you, and you can come and have the classes attended in Delhi, and you'll be having a complete 100% syllabus coverage. Prelims, mains, interview, whatever demands the syllabus coverage, it will be given to you completely. You'll not have any amount of ambiguity in that, and you will have a good amount of syllabus completion, right? So with this, let's move on to the next question, maybe the last question for the day. Reforming the government delivery system through DBT scheme is a progressive step, but it has its limitations to comment. The next question, which we are going to handle right now, will be a question relating to the government delivery system. So government is having delivery system which is called as DBT, The key word here is DBT. Direct Benefit Transfer Scheme. DBT scheme. What is DBT, sir? Generally, benefits used to come after crossing n number of channels. Intermediaries will be very high. I remember way back when 100 rupees is being spent by central government, 87 rupees is getting missed somewhere. We don't know where it is going. Only 13 rupee, 13 is reaching the common man. This was a statement made by former Prime Minister of India. So by looking at that, we thought, why we can't anchor the technology, digital technology? So why can't we use them to ensure that the people are having a great amount of benefit reaching them appropriately without any amount of difficulty? So we devised the scheme called as Direct Benefit Transfer Scheme. So this scheme indicates that straight away the public will be entitled to get the benefit. So this scheme is having a great amount of experience of more than 10 years. 2013 way back the scheme got started, and now they are saying it is a progressive step. You see these line, reforming the government delivery system through DBT is a progressive step. So they are themselves admitting the basic fact that this scheme is a progressive scheme, no doubt in that. But there are some limitations. There are some shortcomings. That alone, what it is there, if you are able to understand, that is more than sufficient to know the entire crux of this topic. Now to begin with, what is DBT? So what we will write, Direct Benefit Transfer, DBT. So DBT is a scheme launched by the government where the beneficiaries will be subjected to direct transfer to their bank account in terms of the services or welfare program launched by the government. A very simple answer. Whenever government is launching something, the benefit will go to the public directly. No intermediary. Nobody will come and threaten you. Come on, 100 rupees has been allocated. You give me 20 rupees, I'll give you 80 rupees. Nothing doing. We will directly credit the amount to your account. You need not have any amount of worry. And this is what is all about, the issue relating to DBT. So DBT is a very comfortable thing and we feel extremely delightful to move by DBT. So DBT doesn't have a big amount of intermediary. Government to public. And this government to public will be via electronic devices. They will start using the CBS, core banking system. By using core banking system, the benefit will be as such given to the general public. Anywhere they can be, in a flash of second, the fund will get credited. By doing that, that will have a great amount of benefit reaching the common man. So this is all about the DBT system, what we are having, direct benefit transfer. Now in this area, in DBT, the merits of DBT we need to take care. Because I told you in the question what they are mentioning, reforming the government delivery system through DBT is a progressive step. So they themselves are telling that this is a progressive step. If we are doing this, results will be very good for us, very grand for us. So we should do this. This is what they are demanding. So when they themselves are celebrating this issue, why we have to oppose them? We will do things in terms of celebrating their success. In that, first point is called as pilferages is getting addressed. Pilferages is getting addressed. What is pilferage? Why do we have pilferages? That is the topic. Pilferages are considered to be small level theft. See, for this topic, sometimes even small level theft also happens. 10 kg, 5 kg, 2 kg for every 50 kgs of sugar. Nothing big impact will be there. But when I calculate for each and every carry bag, no, it will come to a very whooping number. Therefore, all pilferages will get addressed. Nowhere minor amount of deviation also will be tolerable. We will have a mammoth level of performance. Things will go very comfortably. We will not have any amount of difficulty, and this comfort zone where we are being subjected to is the major area for our success. We will not have any amount of difficulty. We will feel extremely happy. This when it is happening in a progressive manner, definitely DBT is a game changer. Yes or no? DBT is a game changer or not, it is based on the achievement. And I say the first point is pilferages are getting properly addressed. You don't have any amount of issues over there. You have the comfort to move forward. Therefore, first benefit. Number 2, in this area, we have a social menace called as corruption. The big disease of India is corruption, right? What is corruption? When you use the public office for a private gain, it becomes corruption. Second side heading, what you will write? Corruption controlled. I will not say corruption eliminated. I don't think it is having a possibility. So I can write the exact word, what is feasible. Corruption is getting controlled. Whenever there is an issue relating to corruption, at least from 40% I can bring it down to 4%. 40 to 4 when I bring it, that is enough to convey the message that scheme has become successful. Scheme doesn't have any amount of issues over here. So the issue relating to the corruption is getting good amount of a controlling impact just because of the DBT. Number 3, transparent. The most successful element of every government is based on something called as transparency. What is transparent? Something which is very open. I have taken money from this account. I have deposited money in this account, and these are the areas where transaction took place. If I tell in this way, nowhere we can cheat the members. See, for example, now they brought this, e-seva. Everything is based on digital system, so no amount of as such writing something, rewriting something, making some error here and there, all those things never happen. We have a very comfortable amount of issue over here. Therefore, transparency will happen when DBT comes into picture. Straight away I deposit money in your account, you take it, perfect amount of happiness. And then real targeted section. Sir, why are you talking about this area, sir? In India, there are some examples where in the name of Sachin Tendulkar, they created 140 job card for Narega. Manmohan Singh, all great stalwarts in case of India, in their name also some Narega card came and money got debited from government of India, and it went to these people. So now the real section, who are the real workers, for them money will get transferred. At last the program will be effective and it will become efficient in terms of addressing the core topic to a very large extent. You see how the merits are there. Wonderfully, the merits are flowing, which conveys the message that not only this program is going to help you in terms of just transferring money also, money alone, it is going to help you in many perspectives, which will in turn make the governance system more vibrant and active. Flaws and limitation. Minus point is there? No. What are the minus point? See, it is not that so easy. Come on, every one of them will be subjected to bank account, will transfer the money, go to the bank, withdraw the fund, enjoy the money. This for saying may look very easy. In practice, when we are being asked to do these things, very tough. So first and foremost problem is infrastructure in case of India is not adequate. Sometimes the real beneficiaries are being excluded. Those who are well off, those are being included. This is a big problem emerging in case of DBT. And number 3, seeding is not comfortable. Aadhaar card, PAN card, you link both of them. People are not able to do. See, just by looking at a man who is in Delhi or in case of Chennai or in case of Mumbai, we can't think that is the index of India. India lives in villages, so those people is very tough. And there are many schemes where DBT may not be possible. So this scheme is not a one-shot solution. So some schemes are having a measurement of fund which we can't go only by DBT. And old age people, aged section, they cannot definitely go by technology. They will be backward. Technology will be very advanced level. They can't proceed. And too much dependency on technology is creating a big amount of infrastructure shortage for the government, which is again one of the major reason for making this program a failure one. And what is the way forward? Solution, at last the conclusion part. What to write there? Number 1, first thing, we need to do a proper amount of groundwork. what we are going to do, who are the beneficiary, that we have to identify and just make a proper list. And then feasibility study, whether this program, if we launch, can all villages in India get the benefit out of it. And then this program, if it is based on these two, is definitely having a bright potential. Why I am giving this point is, question itself says it is a progressive step. So I conclude my answer by giving a positive answer, right? So with this we can wind up. We can see the remaining stuff of the polity mains answer writing in the upcoming week. Next week we will deal that, right? Thank you. Have a great day.